Hey everybody, Smart Silver Stacker here. Today I want to talk to you about silver premiums because right now the spot price of silver is back under $25 an ounce. But if you want to buy a US Silver Eagle, you're going to be paying close to 40 bucks. So what's going on with that? Why are silver premiums so high? Is there a silver squeeze going on? Are dealers just being extremely greedy and conspiring to rob us stackers of our hard-earned fiat currency? Well, maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe there's some other factors going on. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So let's get to it. All right, so like I mentioned, the spot price of silver has been pulling back over the past couple days. It's back under 25 bucks. So you'd think now would be a great time to be stacking silver. But if you want to buy an American Silver Eagle right now over at SD Bullion, even if you're buying 1,500 of them, the best price you can get is $38.21. And I don't know about you guys, but usually I'm not buying in 1,500 ounce increments. So let's say you want to buy a tube of US Silver Eagles, that would be 20 of them. You're going to be paying $39.41. Now that's over a 50% markup over the spot price of silver. So what is going on with that? Premiums on Silver Eagles have always been a little bit higher than other forms of bullion. Obviously, they've risen much faster than premiums on other types of bullion. And part of that, I think, does reflect just the fact that Silver Eagles are a very desirable form of silver for many people. Now, I'm not saying I'm buying them at these prices. I'm absolutely not. This is far too high a premium for me. But, it's not just Silver Eagles anymore because, like I said, those have always had a little bit more of a premium attached to them. But right now, if we go take a look at the 1 ounce silver rounds listing on SD Bullion, you can see that if you want to buy one silver round, or even if you buy a tube of 20 of them, and these are just generic rounds, design of the dealer's choice. So who knows what you're even going to be getting. It'll be at least 0.999 silver, of course, but that's all you really know. You're going to be paying over 30 bucks, so more than a $5 markup for a generic 1 ounce round. And that is almost unheard of. There have been a few times over the past 10 or so years that I've been stacking that I have seen premiums rise this high, but usually it's kind of a fluke thing, and it's on some kind of a news that triggers a supply squeeze. Back in 2021 when the silver squeeze thing was going on, when that was really trending a lot, the premiums did rise significantly. I mean, that was really kind of the start of the crazy premium situation that we're seeing today, but they had kind of come down off of that high a little bit, but now premiums are definitely way back up. And we can see if we take a look at 90% junk silver, premiums on that are still very high. If you guys have seen some of my other videos on junk silver, you know that my forecast is that premiums on junk silver specifically will be rising even more in the future, just based on the fact that they're not making this stuff anymore. So a fixed supply of a product and increasing demand, I think you can expect the price on these coins to rise faster than the spot price of the metal. But you can see these right now, if you want to buy $10 face value, that's $224.26, and that comes out to a little over $31 per troy ounce. So a very significant markup, greater than 25% markup over the spot price. If we take a look at 100 ounce generic silver bars at SD Bullion, if you want to buy one of these, you're going to be paying $28.86 per ounce. So quite a significant markup, $4 markup over spot for what really should be the lowest premium form of bullion you can find, a generic 100 ounce bar. I mean, other than maybe a 1,000 ounce bar or something like that, you would expect this to have the lowest price. Now, I know SD Bullion's tagline is the lowest price period, but the fact is there are dealerships online that sometimes have better prices. So we will take a look at Hero Bullion today. This was some of the lowest premium silver I was able to find just doing a quick look around online. Now, Hero Bullion's a smaller dealer. They're newer. They're not as well established. I like SD Bullion just fine. I've purchased from them many times. But, silver's a fungible product. So as long as you have confidence that the dealership you're dealing with is honest and reputable, then you really just want to get the lowest price possible. I can't really vouch for Hero Bullion too much. I have bought from them one time. I had a good experience, and they do have low prices. So they've got these 10 ounce silver generic bars over at Hero Bullion. So basically you'd be paying the same $4 markup over spot for these that you were paying for a 100 ounce bar over at SD Bullion. The fact that these are smaller and more divisible and you don't have to buy so much silver in one shot, does make these a little bit advantageous. But you'll notice that this is a pre-sale, so these aren't even going to be available until April 7th of 2022. One feature I've noticed over at the Hero Bullion website, you can put quantities here into this field and it will tell you if the quantity is more than is available. So they don't even have 100 of these coming in. Pretty tight supply. I think they've got, what if we put in 97, they'll allow you to purchase 97 of these, but you can't buy 98. So they've got 97 10-ounce bars coming in for sale, so not a huge supply. Now, this was the lowest premium silver I was able to find, this Nadir 100-ounce silver bar. This was over at Hero Bullion. You can see all of their other 100-ounce bars are sold out, but they've got these left. So Nadir, that's a Turkish silver refinery, and these are pretty nice bars. They've got serial numbers, just a large cast bar. These are going for $27.54 per ounce, so that is a fairly low markup. Normally, I would even consider a $2.69 markup over spot kind of high for a 100-ounce bar, but given the circumstances, this is the best deal I was able to find. This is a pretty good price for it. The supply on these, though, is also very tight. You can see they've got 2 in stock. Okay, what about 3? Nope, that's more than is available. So they've got 2 of these left in stock. So after this video goes live and you stackers see this deal on silver, I don't know how much longer these are going to remain in stock. And of course, this isn't any kind of specific recommendation or financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you where you can get a lower price on silver. And this Hero Bullion listing is a nice illustration of how, yeah, maybe there is a little bit of low premium silver out there, but it's in a very short supply. And so I do think that part of what is contributing to these high silver premiums is just a tight silver supply overall. And are dealers being greedy? Are they just trying to rip off their customers and charge too much? One thing we can take a look at to assess that is what dealers are buying coins for and then what they're selling them for. So JM Bullion is nice because they actually have a page where they will give you the buyback price for various types of bullion. So you can see right now they're buying back a 1-ounce American Silver Eagle from any year for $30.87. And then if you want to buy that same coin on their website, you've got to pay $40.77. So about a $10 markup if you're buying one coin. Now, if you're buying a bunch, it'd be about an $8 markup over their buyback price. So that is a pretty good margin for them. I'm sure that these high premiums are contributing to the profits of bullion dealers, but are they being excessively greedy? I don't know. I mean, they're just charging what the market will bear. All of us are greedy to a large extent in these transactions, in the same way that as stackers, we're all trying to get the lowest price possible. That's us being greedy. The bullion dealers are just trying to get the most money for their product. So yeah, they're being greedy, and so are we. Everybody in a free market doing exchanges that are in their best interest, everybody's got to be greedy to some extent. I don't think there's any collusion between bullion dealers or anything like that to drive up premiums. I do think it's just a function of market forces, supply and demand. But definitely, the bullion dealers do benefit from the fact that premiums are elevated. They're making a good margin. Now, you do have to wonder how many Silver Eagles JM Bullion is actually buying for $30.87. Of course, somebody has to sell it to them at that price. And I don't think I would sell my Eagles at that price to them, considering how high the premiums have gone on the product. Now, it is nice that you're getting still $5 or $6 over the spot price when you go to sell your Silver Eagles. So if you bought them for a $2 or $3 or $4 premium back in the day, because that's what the premium used to be, you're still benefiting. But there's no reason really to sell your Silver Eagles to a dealer and take that discount on them. We can take a look at this eBay listing that just ended today, March 15th, overnight. And it's a listing for 3 Silver Eagles, and you can see this seller doesn't have a tremendous amount of feedback. They've got 361 feedback score. So, these are probably real coins. I don't think I would be too concerned purchasing them. I don't tend to buy bullion on eBay. But you can see there's nothing too special about these coins. It's just 3 2015 Silver Eagles, and this auction ended for $118. Now, it does have free shipping, so the seller is going to have to pay shipping. But, if you were selling more coins in a lot, I don't think that the shipping would eat into your profits as much. This is going for basically the same price that dealers are selling them for. So, if you've got Silver Eagles and you want to sell them, you can always just go onto the open market in a place like eBay. I just like eBay because you can view sold auctions, so you can see actual real prices for items, what sellers are able to get for them, what buyers are paying. But, you don't have to necessarily sell on eBay. There's other ways you could locate purchasers of silver eagles. You could go on the Reddit PMs for sale subreddit, maybe go to a coin show or something like that. There's lots of ways you can sell to other end users and cut out the middlemen like the dealers. But if you don't want to go to that trouble, you always can go to a place like JM Bullion and sell your bullion back. And you can see right now, if you've got 1 ounce silver rounds that you want to unload, they're actually paying a little bit over spot for those. So, that goes to show that this premium situation cuts both ways. Yeah, you do have to pay more for silver when you buy it, but when big online dealers start paying over spot for generic silver, you can see that there is some benefit to the elevated premiums for the stacker and the seller of silver as well. And it's not just the greed of the dealers that is driving prices up. And when you see a silver eagle going for $40 or more when the spot price is under 25, yeah, that does set off some alarm bells. It probably does make you want to say JM Bullion's just being greedy. But part of it too is that this elevated price for physical bullion, it represents the real physical silver market, because that spot price, that 24.87, that is something that is set in futures markets. It's a paper price for silver. It doesn't actually represent any transfer of real physical bullion. It is just a paper contract. It's whatever futures contract is trading at the highest volume. That's how you get the spot price. One thing I'll draw your attention to is over at usdebtclock.org, they have this statistic. It's the paper to silver ratio. And right now, that number is 371.61 to 1. And that number's been ticking up over time if you've been paying attention to that. If we mouse over that statistic, it'll give us their definition for it. And the way they calculate that is it's the number of paper silver ounces traded on major world silver exchanges divided by the actual world production of silver in ounces. So for every 1 ounce of silver that is being mined this year, 371.61 paper silver contracts, paper ounces are being traded. Now, why would that be happening? Well, maybe there's some price suppression in the market. Maybe some actors are using fiat currency to suppress the price of metal. I'll leave that for you to decide on your own. It does seem a little unusual that there would be so much paper silver traded, and that the trading of that paper silver is what you would actually derive the value of the physical underlying asset for. I do find that to be kind of a strange situation. And you might say, hey, why are you using the annual silver production? Why aren't you using, say, the above ground available supply of silver? Well, there's not a huge difference really, because there's not a ton of silver available above ground. It's not like gold. Almost every ounce of gold that has ever been mined is still available above ground. But you got to remember, silver is an industrial metal, so it gets used up. And we can take a look at this chart from the Silver Institute. This is available at silverinstitute.org. This is a chart of silver supply and demand going back 10 years, goes back to 2012. And you can see that every year, this is the total supply on this line here, and then it lists total demand. And typically, the supply does outpace the demand, or at least it has for the past 10 years, by a few million ounces. But there even were times, like in 2013, for example, the total supply, and that's both from mining and recycling, was 1,039 million ounces. And the total demand, so basically the total amount of silver consumed that year, 1,071 million ounces. So sometimes the consumption actually exceeds silver production. This does give us a little bit more of a breakdown of the demand side of things. And you will notice also that the trend here for industrial consumption has been increasing. So 2021, 524 million ounces used for industrial purposes. Back in 2012, that number was 450 million. So that has been going up significantly. And then here it says, of which was photovoltaics. Back then it was only 55 million ounces were used for photovoltaics. Now we're using 105 million. So that is growing. That is not the only portion of industrial demand that is growing, because you can see while that grew by 50 million ounces from 2012 to 2021, the total industrial consumption grew from 450 million to 524 million ounces. So what's that extra 20 million ounces coming from? Electric vehicle production, electronics. There's a lot of high-tech uses for silver. Silver is the best conductor of heat and electricity of all the metals. So it's very useful in many applications involving electronics. And with the advent of electric cars, with the electrification of society, with the Internet of Things, with 5G, with the transition to clean energy and the need for more batteries and the need for more solar and the need for more wind, all of those things use silver. So I think that we will continue to see this industrial demand for silver move up higher, and that's going to continue to contribute to elevated silver premiums because, on the one hand, you've got industry consuming more and more of the physical metal. And then on the other hand, you have a manipulated paper market for silver, which is keeping the price lower. And so what that's going to lead to is a squeeze in the price of silver. So you're going to see real physical silver move up even higher. And you may see the spot price languish. I mean, look at what happened in nickel. They basically had to freeze the spot price because they wanted to save all of the naked shorts. We had that short squeeze in nickel just last week. And, the same thing could happen in silver, where you might just get a paper market that's broken. I mean, still, to this day, if you go try to look up what the nickel price is, it's really kind of hard to tell because the LME isn't really resuming open trading in nickel. And who knows? I mean, it might be some time before they do. So, are silver premiums just dealers being greedy? I don't think so. I mean, obviously dealers are greedy to an extent, everybody is, but really I think it has more to do with the fact that silver is being consumed at a faster rate. And also the paper price, what everybody's looking at to determine these premiums, the $24.99 price, that's not real silver, that's paper. If you want to find the real price of physical silver, you got to just go find whatever lowest premium silver you can find. The lowest premium silver I was able to find today was this bar. So a real accurate price for silver, I would say, is $27.54. That's the actual price of physical. And then if you want to get it in a different form, like smaller increments, a 1 ounce round, for example, you're going to have to pay a little bit more because clearly that's a more desirable form for investors and stackers. And the same can be said for the Silver Eagle because, I'm not buying Silver Eagles for $40 or $39.99. I'm not going to pay that much, but somebody is. I guarantee you someone's buying these. So, that's the real price of a Silver Eagle. There's something about the fact that it comes from a government mint and it's kind of the gold standard in silver bullion investments that just makes it really desirable to people. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about silver premiums. Is it just greedy dealers trying to rip us off, or do you think there's a little bit more to it? Do you think that there's an issue with supply and demand in silver? Do you think there's some manipulation in the paper market? Do you think the physical market could detach from the paper market? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos about physical silver bullion and precious metals, then check out the videos that are popping up on your screen right now. And I will catch you guys next time. Thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Smart Silver Stacker, out.